Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Bucket Ponds, and my name is Terry. This is our buddy Yin Yang, always out here to help us out. But today we are taking a second look at the 33-gallon nano pond that we built about 5 months ago. But we're going to take a look at the project. We're going to check it out. The surrounding area has changed dramatically, and I want to show that to you as well. But this is why I'm called Bucket Ponds. This is what I do. And if you're into this sort of hobby, then maybe you might like to see this video.
All right, guys. So to begin, this is a clip from the build video. You can see Yin Yang in the background there. But this is a 33-gallon trash can that I bought brand new from the dollar store. This is meant to be outside, so it has some UV stabilizers in the plastic, which will help prevent it from breaking down in the sunlight. This is very important. But we buried this about halfway down. I surrounded it with some small boulders, some soil, some plants, and some other things. I will include a link to the build video in the description. But here we are 5 months later, and the area has developed dramatically. It's completely different. I've planted some new plants out here, and most of this stuff was included during the build video, but I've harvested so many elephant ears and taro from pool pond number 1, I had to put them somewhere, so I planted them all around the oasis. This has changed the environment a bit. This has added more shade and more habitat for frogs and insects and various things, which is just a great benefit for any nano pond. More life in the area means more food into the pond and more, biodiversity. But we included this little yucca plant here during the build video. And if you look closely, you'll see this great little green tree frog here. He was most likely born in that pond. He hatched from an egg, he became a tadpole, he became a frog, and now he hangs out in the surrounding area. And that's one of the big benefits for a project like this. Compared to a grassy backyard, which is highly unnatural, something like this can promote all sorts of life to find their way into the area. But here's the pond. It looks great. It's beautiful, really. And as you can see, we have some duckweed. We have tons of plants inside. A lot of people will hate duckweed. They'll say not to include it in your pond. Oh, it'll cover the surface and cause eutrophication. And that's not always true, not if you know what you're doing. I want to remind everyone that this is no pump, no filter, no chemicals, no fertilizers, nothing. This is all natural. This is just rainwater, sunlight, plants, and insects and fish. But keep in mind that my fish are very skittish, but you see all that motion there? Those are the mosquito fish. That's them moving around in the water. I'm probably scaring them a bit as I haven't interacted with them much, especially not this new generation. They have pretty much never seen a human, so they're going to be a very skittish and afraid as I lean over the project. But we're going to try to fix that. I'm going to add a little bit of fish flakes here, and that should encourage them over time to see me as a food source. I like to use Tetramin fish flakes. It's cheap, it's effective, your fish will eat them happily. But I know people say that fish are dumb, they don't have memory, blah, blah, blah. But in actual experience, when fish recognize you as a food source, they will come to you. They will remember you, no problem. When I approach pool pond number 1 or number 2, the fish come up to me because they know that I'm about to feed them. So I need to start feeding these guys a bit more often to encourage that same type of behavior. We might see a few of the mosquito fish snapping up the the fish flakes here, especially as they sink down into the water a bit. Yeah, and that's what we hope for. So I want to show this new generation that I am not a threat, I am a food source, and they will eventually be easier for us to film and much easier for me to capture to, use them in other projects. Now, in my experience, mosquito fish are very interesting. They will not breed in an indoor aquarium, at least not for me. And they seem to have some tricks to prevent themselves from overpopulating their habitat. See, a female, she will not spit fry, she will not give birth when there are too many males around because they are cannibalistic. They will eat the babies. But in my experience, this shows that they are, using this trick to avoid overpopulating their ponds. When I placed them in here, they began breeding rapidly for a short time. They bred up their numbers a bit, and now it's kind of dropped off. It's kind of slowed down, and that's to be expected. I think it's also really cool. But we have some nice plants surrounding the pond here. And new stuff is constantly trying to grow out here. And that's awesome. I've planted most of these plants, but a lot of things are spreading on their own. And here's a great example of the insect life in the area. I'm not sure of the species of this little guy, but he definitely resembles a thorn. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I believe that's some type of active camouflage to keep him safe. But we're just going to blow him away here. And yeah, every plant out here, every element, every nook and cranny in these rocks, these all serve to promote insect life and biodiversity. And a lot of that insect life will end up falling into the pond and becoming food for the mosquito fish. We have some plants in here besides the duckweed, of course. We have something that I call pondweed. We have some macroalgae. We have some young taro and elephant ears. We have some wild poinsettia over here that showed up around my area one day, and we actually captured it. It's fire on the mountain, is what it's called. We have some blackjack, which is edible and very hard to control. And of course, we have some rattlesnake weed over here in the background. This stuff's very interesting. It's also edible. Don't eat these plants unless you know what you're doing, of course. There's a little mimosa tree. I don't really pull weeds from around here. I don't pull plants too much, but the mimosa trees, those right there, I will have to pluck them occasionally because they will take over. My whole oasis would be covered in mimosa trees. But other than that, I don't really do too much weeding out here. I don't cut things. I will mow the surrounding area, but the actual oasis itself, I try to let nature take its course. I'll plant things occasionally, to just look nice or because I have extra plants. But generally, we don't have to. I don't have to do too much work out here with this kind of stuff. New things are growing all the time. And here's a look at our elephant ears and our taro. We have a few species, a few varieties out here, including this little arrow leaf type right here. And of course, we have some pepper leaf over here on the side. Yeah. Keep in mind that all of these plants were captured from the wild. I found them in various places, brought them home, got them to grow. You'll be surprised the number of plants that you can find in like a drainage ditch in a city or a canal or just forgotten places out in the world. But I want to get a good close-up of the fish before we call this video finished. The main purpose of this video, I wanted to show you guys, like after one of my latest videos, we lost an ecosphere. It's very sad, but I got a lot of people like making fun of me and laughing about it. And that was sort of expected. People are evil generally. But I want to show you that most of my projects work out. I'm not out here killing these fish and all these pets. Generally, I am promoting them. I've made a few mistakes. We all have, especially in the aquarium industry, the aquarium hobby. But if we look closely, we will see our mosquito fish. Let's try again. A little closer this time. There we go. Yeah. So, don't take my word for it. You can see them. They're happy, healthy fish in here. And that's the ultimate goal. I want to take 2 fish and make 20. I want to take 2 plants and make 15. I want to take a couple ostracods and make 1,000. That's my main goal. That's why we build these ponds.
Well, all right, guys, that's the pond. That's the 33-gallon trash can pond, the big bucket pond. It's doing well. The fish are thriving. They're very healthy and active. But I'm very impressed with the project. I prefer to do outdoor aquariums whenever possible. And I'm just happy to share this with you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know the video was a little shaky here and there. It's not perfect. But I've been watching some other YouTubers who do this kind of stuff. Their videos can be shaky and messy, and they'll get 100,000 views, and I get like 10. But it's fun, and we keep going, I appreciate everybody that watches these videos. Thank you. Please check out the Facebook page. I have a blog. We kind of share pictures and stuff. And please like and subscribe. Hit that bell button. That'll help me out a lot. We're getting close to monetization, which means I'll be able to do this a lot more often, more videos, more projects, all sorts of stuff, guys. So thank you. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Unlike those big channels, I do try to answer every comment. I might not get to everybody, but I try, so that's the best we can do. But this is Bucket Ponds. Thank you so much for watching. A little news on the channel. I am looking at doing some live streams eventually. I got to expand the Oasis a bit and give you guys some more content, things to look at to make the live stream worthwhile. And I'm also looking at setting up a Patreon. As we get going, I want to get a little bit bigger first, and I want to sell some t-shirts. I don't know if you'd like a Bucket Ponds t-shirt. We might do some giveaways, some things like that. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the works, guys. I'll be starting up the weekly build series again soon.